Veer and Chitti wants to know how to get started with FPV. Any suggestions for beginners? Sure. Sure, let's do this one. First of all, welcome to the hobby. This hobby has an enormous learning curve that will frustrate the shit out of you. I don't want to overstate this comparison to the point of like insulting people or becoming a laughingstock. But in some ways, I think of getting into this hobby, like you hear about like, you know, the Navy SEALs and they go through Hell Week, or, you know, other, you know, high tier special forces units have this selection process. And then they just like beat the crap out of these guys to see who's going to make it and who's going to fall out. And in some ways, I feel like FPV is like that. Again, not trying to say there's an equivalence there and then have the wrath of the internet Navy SEALs come down on me. But because like you get into FPV and it's just constantly things don't work. You have to learn all these new skills. Every single one of them is complicated and difficult. And you have these rare moments where things are working and you have fun. And then almost immediately something breaks or something's effed up again and it becomes difficult. And so many people just say, this isn't worth it. I'm going to go back and drive my RC cars. Right? And it's true. The FPV, the peak of joy that you get from FPV is so high that I think that there's almost nothing else out there that gives you that amazing experience. It's like base jumping through a gap in a frickin' mountain without ever having to risk your body, right? It's great. But there's a lot that you have to do to get through it. So the first advice I would give is understand that this is going to be difficult and there are going to be a lot of frustrating times, and accept that and, you know, just say woosah and try to get through it and enjoy the good times when they're there. The best way to get started with FPV is to either buy a bind and fly kit that's ready to go. Well, sorry, back up. The best way to get started is to buy a controller and practice in the simulator. Don't buy a quad. Don't buy goggles. Don't buy anything except a controller. You could put a little time into picking your controller because you might keep it forever. You could also just buy something inexpensive. It should be an RC controller, not like a Xbox controller. But buy a controller. You'll spend less than $100, maybe a little more, maybe $150. And that's sort of your investment. And spend the next month practicing in the simulator. Just have fun. Just play in the simulator. And consider this your initiation. And if at the end of a month you get bored and you're like, I don't want to just, then it's possible that you're not going to enjoy FPV enough to do the real thing. Because when you buy a real drone, it's going to be way more exciting and way more fun than the simulator. And then it's immediately going to crash and break. And then you're going to be like, and you have to get through that. So if flying in a simulator for, say, as much as a month isn't fun enough to hold your interest, maybe this is, I'm not saying definitely, but maybe this isn't the hobby for you. So after a month in the simulator, you're probably actually pretty decent at flying around. And you can think about buying an actual drone. You can buy a bind and fly, or you can buy a kit and build your own. Both of them have advantages. The advantage of a bind and fly is that it's ready to fly out of the box mostly. If you buy a full ready to go kit, it'll be ready to go. But you've already bought your controller, so any kit that you buy, maybe it'll come with a controller. But now you've bought two controllers, so you shouldn't do that. So you're going to get the bind and fly kit, and you're going to need to sort of get it going, get it set up, and then you can take it out and fly it. You can also do something like I have a build series. So I have a build series. Where's the frickin' part 1 of my build series?
This video is part of a series.
Oh, shush. Where's the frickin'... There we go. Hello. So I have a build series right here It's and it takes you through all the steps of building an FPV drone from start to finish. You buy the kit from Get FPV. Everything you need comes from Get FPV, and then I take you through building it, literally just step by step, hand holding you through every step of the way. The advantage of this is when you're done, you'll have built it yourself. You'll know how to build it, and you'll know how to repair it, and maintain it and set it up. In fact, you could build that. You could, if you have enough money that you're willing to take the chance, you could buy this kit, and during the month that you're practicing in the simulator, you could also be building this kit. And then at the end of that time, boom, you've got a quadcopter, you can fly it, and that's kind of a good way to go. The final piece of advice I would give you is, no matter what you do, try to hook up with other people in your area who fly. That isn't possible for everyone, because in some places there just aren't that many people who fly. But you should go to the MultiGP website, MultiGP, and you should look for a MultiGP chapter near you. You should go to Facebook. Facebook? Really? Yes. Sorry. Old people fly FPV. They're all on Facebook. Go figure. And look for an FPV group in your area. Just search for Knoxville FPV and see what you find. Search your city name, obviously. Pick the nearest big city near you and see if there's an FPV chapter there, and try and meet those people. So great. Blunty posting here from the live stream clips channel, just an idea. The kind of things that go up on the live stream clips channel. Here's a previous question that might be helpful. How do you find people to fly within your local area? It's on the Joshua Bardwell live stream clips channel. So anyway, that's my advice.